Picture this: in 2022, Lewis Hamilton is already one of the most famous people alive. 6 world championships. Tens of millions in salary. His face on billboards from Monaco to Sao Paulo, and he's in a Hollywood producer's office, arguing, not about his fee. He's telling them the script doesn't feel real. That if they're making a movie about Formula One, they need to tell the truth. Or walk away. Most athletes say yes just to get their name on the poster. Lewis Hamilton walked in as a co-producer. That moment tells you everything about how he built a fortune worth nearly $500 million. To understand it, you have to go back to Stevenage, England. 1993. Anthony Hamilton, washing dishes at a restaurant on a weeknight, not his career. The extra shift he needed to afford tires for his 8-year-old son's go-kart. He worked 4 jobs. Dishwasher, double glazing salesman, IT contractor. He remortgaged the family home multiple times, with no guarantee it would ever matter. And then on Sunday he'd wake up and drive Lewis to the track. At 10 years old, Lewis walked up to Ron Dennis, the most powerful man in Formula One, at an awards dinner, and said, "I'm going to drive for you one day." Ron Dennis wrote in his autograph book, "Phone me in 9 years." 3 years later, McLaren financed Hamilton's entire path to Formula One through Formula Renault, F3 and GP2. A family that had mortgaged everything suddenly had the sport's most powerful team behind their kid. That is not luck. That is what audacity, backed by sacrifice, actually looks like. Here's what most people get wrong about Lewis Hamilton's wealth. They think he got rich because he drove fast. But thousands of people can drive fast. What Hamilton figured out earlier than almost any athlete of his generation is something most people spend their careers missing. Fame is not the asset. Fame is the tool. Your name, your credibility, your reach, those are levers. And a lever only has value if you know what to move with it. Most athletes spend their earning years building a lifestyle. Hamilton spent his time building a portfolio. The difference between those two choices? About $400 million. In 2022, he took a minority stake in the Denver Broncos, part of a $4.65 billion transaction, NFL equity, growing whether he ever races again or not. He founded Dawn Apollo Films, didn't just put his name on the F1 movie, sat in production meetings, challenged the script, forced key rewrites, and called in 19 seasons of relationships to get access nobody else could arrange. The movie made over $620 million globally, the highest-grossing motorsport film ever made. And his production company logo appeared before the very first frame. He launched Almave, a non-alcoholic tequila backed by Pernod Ricard. Consolidated everything in 2025 under Lewis Hamilton Ventures, a holding company. This is not an athlete with side deals. This is a CEO who also races on weekends, and then there's Ferrari. Everyone called it a risk, leaving Mercedes at 40, where he won 6 of his 7 championships. But look at it differently. Ferrari is the most iconic brand in motorsport history. By attaching his name to theirs for the final chapter of his career, Hamilton didn't just sign a contract worth up to $100 million a year. He fused his legacy to theirs. That is not a racing decision. That is a branding decision. Now here's the part that makes all of this real. Neat Burger, the plant-based chain Hamilton co-founded in 2019, which later drew investment from Leonardo DiCaprio, failed. Every UK location closed. Approximately $10 million in losses. 2 of the most famous people on earth, and it still didn't work. Because celebrity doesn't replace market fit. What separates Hamilton isn't that everything he touched turned to gold. It's that losing $10 million made him build something worth 10 times more next. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Lewis Hamilton's father washed dishes to buy go-kart tires. Lewis Hamilton used those tires to earn a seat at every table that matters. And once he was at the table, He stopped asking for a bigger paycheck. He started asking for a piece of the table. That's the move. That's the whole move. It doesn't require 7 world championships. It just requires knowing the difference between being paid for what you do and owning what you build. Anthony Hamilton is still trackside at every race, watching, just like he did in Stevenage when the tires were on a credit card. Lewis is still competing, still chasing at 40. But the real wealth was never about race day. It was about understanding that the track has a finish line and building everything else so it doesn't. Drop this in the comments. Are you building something that earns while you sleep? Or still trading hours for income? Because that gap right there is the whole race.